Way out in the newly named Gulf of America stands one huge player in a campaign promise.
Drill, baby, drill.
We've flown over a lot of older rigs and platforms. These days, some of the best wells are much farther out.
This week, we take you 140 miles offshore to an oil platform called Anchor for an exclusive look at the prospects of America's renewed energy dominance.
In recent years, Bitcoin has gone up and down, but mostly up.
What's happened to the value of a Bitcoin in the past 4 years?
So Bitcoin has gone up tremendously in value.
Now the much misunderstood digital currency is moving from obscurity to a promise of security. This week, a look at the value and even the ethics of Bitcoin. Patients and medicine are both struggling to battle Lyme disease. The problem may not be the ticks, but the murky past of their use in warfare.
After World War II, our military people interviewed the Germans and the Japanese, and they found out, well, geez, they were weaponizing fleas, ticks, mosquitoes, flies.
To try to spread diseases?
Yeah, as a stealth weapon.
After a COVID leak from a biolab, what else do we not know about diseases in our midst?
Welcome to Full Measure. I'm Sharyl Attkisson. President Trump has promised to dramatically increase oil and gas production to lower energy prices and shore up national security. His first day in office, he declared an energy emergency and moved to expand offshore drilling. Today, Scott Thuman takes us on a fascinating trip way out into deep waters, where he found the industry already gearing up for big changes.
Just outside of New Orleans, we board the helicopter. Our destination, 140 miles out into what's now called the Gulf of America, to one of the oil and natural gas industry's most advanced platforms. We fly south, well past a trail of rigs dotting the horizon.
Heading way out into the Gulf really helps tell the story of where this industry is going. We've flown over a lot of older rigs and platforms that are relics of earlier years when a lot of oil was found closer to shore. These days, some of the best wells are much farther out and much deeper down than you realize.
Approaching Chevron's newest platform called Anchor, we see the deep-sea drilling ship Titan that's made this groundbreaking energy field possible. This floating outpost of steel and high technology started producing just recently after years of planning and construction, a symbol of what the industry hopes is the future, backed by a president and a catchy chant.
We will drill, baby, drill.
And on Anchor, they drilled the wells deep. These pipes go down 5,000 feet to the sea floor, and then down thousands more to reach a reservoir that's as deep as 34,000 feet. That's 6.5 miles below the sea floor. Russell Benoit is Anchor's operations supervisor.
It's very complex. It takes a lot of engineering, a lot of thought, a lot of boats, a lot of vessels. A lot of things happened before this facility ever came offshore to make this viable.
It takes years of planning.
Years. Yes, many years. So I think in my history here, that almost 15, 20 years of planning behind this project and execution.
Once complete, 7 wells will be linked by pipe back to the Anchor platform, where it's all processed before another set of lines pump the product all the way back to shore, adding up to a $5.7 billion investment for America's #2 energy company. Bruce Niemeyer is Chevron's president of exploration and production for the Americas.
How important is the Gulf to you?
We've been in the Gulf of America for 85 years. We're continuing to invest today. We are increasing production 50% between last year and what we will see next year.
That's a huge number.
It is a big number. It reflects the potential and the opportunity that is there. It is there for our company and, by extension, there for the industry and for the nation.
That potential and opportunity, something President Trump plans to tap. He says he wants the U.S. to be energy dominant. In the first few days in office, he declared an energy emergency to allow his administration to take fast action to increase production, open more areas for drilling, and ramp up liquid natural gas exports.
From a President Biden to a President Trump, do you see a big difference coming?
Well, I would just point to actions. Under President Biden, in his first month in office, he issued an executive order that paused leasing of oil and gas on federal lands. In his last month, he withdrew 625 million acres of federal land from consideration in oil and gas leasing. Those things are challenging for an industry that is attempting to provide affordable and reliable energy.
In the case of this project, using new technology rated to deal with up to 20,000 pounds of pressure to tap reserves that were previously unavailable.
The 20K, that's putting us in a realm of thought on formations that we thought weren't producible at one point in time are now achievable. So that definitely changes how we look at things and prospects that we may go after.
In Anchor's Nerve Center, a small team monitors the operation. Neil Menges is in charge of large projects for Chevron.
What the team here is doing, they're controlling the wells, which are 34,000 feet deep, 5 miles away. Remotely from here, they're operating the plant that is on this facility, and then also controlling the export that heads back to the Gulf.
But what still kind of blows your mind about all of this?
I think we're really just really proud to be safely leading the industry into that next frontier of development and unlocking the resource potential of the Gulf for ourselves and for industry.
These new production platforms are not just able to reach deeper and produce at higher pressures, they're also safer these days. The crews frequently practice emergency scenarios, the equipment designed to cope with a potential disaster like that which destroyed BP's Deepwater Horizon back in 2010.
The explosion was spectacular and catastrophic. The Deepwater Horizon was under contract with BP, drilling a new well in the Gulf of Mexico.
Blast and following fire killed 11 workers. For 87 days, oil gushed from the well, over 134 million gallons, causing widespread damage to the Gulf ecology and a lasting argument for those against offshore drilling. Today, there are thousands of wells in the Gulf, accounting for 14% of our oil and 5% of our natural gas production. Texas is the biggest producing state, but there are nearly 1 million wells across the country, from California to New York, all helping to make the U.S. the biggest oil producer for the last 7 years.
I noticed earlier you said the Gulf of America. Is that a nod to President Trump?
Well, so we follow the naming convention of whatever regulatory organization defines that. Our leaseholds in the Gulf are all federal leasehold.
Trump wants to increase the number of offshore federal leases, repealing Biden's restrictions on the Arctic and Pacific. Ultimately, it'll be independent energy companies, though, not the government, to determine if the billions in investments out here to bring down prices back on land is a worthy trade-off. The president betting they will.
140 miles out, 34,000 feet deep. Those are crazy numbers to a lot of people.
It's crazy numbers to me sometimes too. So it's very exciting and challenging and overwhelming, and it's not something you do on your own. There's a lot of smart people that help this process get to where it's at like that.
Prices went down in the first Trump term. Do you think increasing production now is going to do that again?
Well, it'll certainly help, but there is a balance between the price of oil and the willingness of oil companies to produce more. The lower the prices, the less incentive there is for them to drill new wells.
But the industry is happy, right?
For the most part, yes. Very optimistic, especially about what they call leveling of the playing field. They're talking about those taxpayer-funded incentives that in the past had been directed more at the solar and wind side of the industry. They think that's changing.
All right. Thanks, Scott. Great story.